Okay, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the whole team at Reliance Manor Lakes, I'd like to thank you very much for joining us here today and welcome you to the auction at 1 Muster Street in the lovely suburb of Manor Lakes. To all of our bidders and buyers, I'd like to wish you all the very best with your bidding endeavours here today. My instructions to you are quite simple, and that is to bid bold, bid aggressively, and bid to the absolute maximum of your capacity. Give yourself every opportunity to be that lucky and successful buyer. I'm sure you're somewhere in the crowd here today, so to you a slightly early congratulations is in order for that wonderful purchase of this beautiful home here in Manor Lakes. Now, of course, I'd like to take the time to thank our vendors as well for not only entrusting myself to be the auctioneer, but also the entire selling team at Reliance Manor Lakes for selling what is arguably their most prized possession. Of course, Bilal and Milan are your listing agents. They are some of the top, if not the top, agents in all of this particular area and corridor of Melbourne. So if you have any questions about the property, need any support with your bidding endeavours, make sure to flag down either one of those two on the team and they'll happily come to your support. Now, of course, I will cover the rules and regulations of an auction. The auction will be conducted in accordance with the rules and any additional conditions made available for inspection before the start of the auction. The auction rules prohibit the auctioneer from accepting bids or offers for a property after the property has been knocked down to the successful bidder. The vendors have a reserve price. As your auctioneer will be indicating bidders on a request. The law prohibits false bids, prohibits major disruptions by bidders, and prohibits bidders from attempting to prevent others from bidding, and it will issue fines for misconduct. The rules do permit vendor bids. The words I will be using to indicate I am placing a bid on behalf of our vendors is simply vendor bid, and by law only I as the auctioneer can place those vendor bids. Now, settlement terms for the purchase of this home, we are preferring a 90 to 120 day settlement period here. And of course, we're also happy to accept a 5 or 10% deposit payable this evening as per standard Victorian auction rules. Now, if you've had any prior arranged terms and conditions discussed and our vendors have agreed to those terms, then you're more than comfortable to be bidding on that basis. But otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the stunning opportunity up for your taking here and your competition. 1 Muster Street, Manor Lakes. This is a beautiful home here, perfect for the modern home family buyer. There's 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a double lock-up garage as well, underpinning your prospective purchase of some of the finest real estate that Manor Lakes has on offer. And the car comes with the house. Is that Milan's car? Milan's car comes with the house as well. So that's part of the settlement terms. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you add an extra 50 to 100 grand on top just to account for that beautiful BMW. But otherwise, the home itself is the masterpiece here. The car is just a side piece, by the way. This home is perfect for first home buyers, growing families, and investors alike. There's something for everybody in this particular home. There's so much wide appeal in this home, and that's why you're seeing the demand here for this lovely opportunity here. Of course, you come on inside, you really start to get a sense of what really showcases here the desirability of the home. You come on in, you are greeted by open kitchen and dining areas here. That's perfect for entertaining friends and family. And of course, that seamlessly transitions out into that shaded pergola area where you can spend your time in the outdoor area. You've got the full yard as well out there, so plenty of space to feel nice and comfy at home. Lovely separation of spaces. Of course, you've got the master bedroom with the walk-in robe at the front of the house, and also 3 generous-sized bedrooms as well, all with built-in storage tucked away behind that nice wall there to separate from the living spaces. Beautiful quality fixtures, fittings, appliances, plenty of premium building materials all throughout the home that makes it very nice to live in. The kitchen, of course, lovely thick stone bench tops with that waterfall finish, 900mm appliances, central heating, cooling, solar panels on the roof as well. Everything is here, and that's just the start of it. The location is so sublime. It is centrally located in a very, very hot pocket of Melbourne. Manor Lakes, of course, developing and shooting into something that's going to be the next big thing in Melbourne here. You're in a prime location in Manor Lakes as well, very close to parks, reserves, and walking trail. Just a short walk from here. Lovely quiet streets, of course. Manor Lakes Central, not very far from here, only just a couple of minutes drive. Schools, public, private, primary and secondary, of course. Very easy access to Ballon Road and Wyndham Vale Station to take you anywhere that you need to go as well. So ladies and gentlemen, Long list of reasons to buy. The home itself is stunning. The location is stunning, and a prime point in the market as well, just as we're starting to expect interest rate cuts to close the book on your real estate journey. Ladies and gentlemen, handing it over to you now for your spirited bidding. Who would like to get the auction underway? Don't mind where we start. Ladies and gentlemen, we know there's plenty of interest in the crowd here today. Plenty of groups that have been through multiple times and ordered their building and pest inspections. You just let me know where you see logical value. We'll simply stake it from there. Don't mind where we start. The first bid is always the hardest, but the home itself is an absolute stunning masterpiece here. Quoting range, of course, 680 to 750. It only makes sense for me to start things off at the bottom end of the range. Ladies and gentlemen, going to give you one last opportunity here. First call, second call, third and final time. Are we all done? All finished? All silent? Very tough crowd here today. Beautiful weather as well. Not a single cloud in the sky. I can stand here all day. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to kick things off with a vendor bid on my end. Here's an opportunity for you to show strength at the start of the auction. We know you're here to buy, and we are here to sell. Vendors very keen to do business with you. One last opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. Milan, how are we going out there? Any interest? You just let me know. Bilal, otherwise, I think I kick things off with a vendor bid at $680,000. Ladies and gentlemen, starting the auction off now at $680,000. A vendor bid has been placed. I'm going to keep moving things along from here. If you're interested, you need to show me right now. Raise that hand. Let's go to $700,000 as the next bid from here. But at $680,000, I've started things off on my end with a vendor bid at $680,000 now. Where do we see? 700 at $680,000. Milan, let me know if your buyer would like to jump in, and I think we also do have a phone bidder as well. Bilal, let me know if they would like to jump on in at $680,000. We can see you in at 700 if you like. First call at $680,000. Another 10. Can we go to 700? We'll take the 10s from there. $680,000 now. Otherwise, I'll simply place a vendor bid at $700,000. Bilal, your opportunity. No, really. Even for this lovely home, it's going to go much more than that at $680,000. Let's go straight to $700,000 now. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call it 3 times now. Here's your opportunity. First call at $680,000, sir. $20,000 is not very much for this beautiful home. Second call at $680,000. How about you guys here? Happy to see you in at 700. Third and final time. Are you sure? We're all done. We're going to give up on this opportunity here. At $680,000, 700 if you like. Even if you wanted to give me a smaller increment, I'd have to take their 10 first. All right, at $680,000, one last opportunity. How about you, sir? 7? Beautiful. Welcome into the auction now. Auction well and truly ignited. We're on. Let me know if your buyer would like to jump back in, but we got 700 here. At $700,000. Well, we can do 10s if you like. 710. 710. The 10s are popular, so we can do another 10 on top. But we're at 710 now. I'd suggest at this point in time, when you've got competition and they're taking the smaller increments, let's go 730. At $710,000, 20s there if you like, or 30. At 710. 715, let's go 10s. 10? 10. Come on now. You know what happens with the smaller increments, by the way? You just invite your competition back in. That's okay. Let's take the 5. 715, let's go 720. Told you. That could have been your vid. 725? Or 730? I like that thinking. $720,000 now. Great bidding, Varun, by the way. Varun wasn't here at the start, but welcome Varun here. If you've got any needs, make sure to flag down Varun as well. Let me know if those buyers would like to jump in. At $720,000, Milan, your buyers in the lead, and good luck to them, by the way. Very cool, calm, and collected at this point in time. Both of them got their sunnies on and got the poker face on. You guys have got the same stance as well. I love it. At $720,000 in the lead, and rightfully so. Let me know if you guys would like to jump on in. You're absolutely done here. You should have just gone to the 720. What happens if they're out? At $720,000, test a bid, see what happens. At $720,000, worst case scenario is you've added another $5,000 on top and make them pay $730. At $720,000, I'm going to call it 3 times. We may just be wrapping up the auction here. First call at $720,000, and good luck to you. Second call at $720 now. Third and final time. All done. All finished and absolutely silent now. I know you haven't come just to see me do the auction, let me know. Jump on in. We're going to take a quick pause to the auction. They came here to see Bilal. Oh, amazing. At $720,000. Hey, Bilal. Milan, I think we take a quick pause to the auction. I'm going to give you a little bit more time to reconsider from there. If you truly are, I'd like to thank you very much for your bidding. But in the meantime, we're going to have a quick chat to the owners and we'll be back in just a moment's time, okay? Thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your patience and anticipation while we're seeking our vendors' instructions there. I can see that you can tell, by the way, the fact that we're having such detailed conversations means that we're very close to where we are to putting the property on the market. We're getting some more instructions as we speak. We're going to be passing those instructions on to our highest bidder at this point in time, but I can tell you, otherwise, if there's no further bidding from here, the instructions are for me to pass the property in to our highest bidder, who will then be able to negotiate privately and exclusively directly with our vendors' reserve price. So guys, if there's no further bidding from here, that exclusive right to negotiate goes to our highest bidder. So you do need to be the highest bidder at the end of the day. We're shaking the hands. We're seeing them off at the moment at $720,000. One last opportunity. We're confirming those final instructions. Milan, I'll get you to have a chat to these guys as well. At $720,000, very close to the point in time where we're putting the property on the market and selling, but in absence of those bids, we're simply going to be passing the property in, ladies and gentlemen, at $720,000, passing instructions on to each group from here at $720,000. Milan, how are we going with those instructions from the vendor? At $720,000, no further bidding. We wrap up the auction here and pass the property in and start private negotiations. And I can tell you, at an auction, once the property is passed in and we're negotiating privately with our buyers and our vendors, more often than not that the property sells. So it does pay to be the highest bidder at the end of the day. Guys, out the back as well, you need to make sure that you've given me your absolute best from here. At $720,000, that right to negotiate goes out that way. They will be in the prime hot seat to purchase the property and take it off the marketplace here today. One Muster Court, Manor Lakes, wrapping up the auction in just a moment's time once we've gotten the final instructions from our highest bidder and also confirmed we're absolutely out, done, finished and silent. Bilal, let me know. Once we count it 3 times, we're absolutely sure we're done. And guys, you're holding a very prime position at the moment. I think Milan has passed on those instructions, hasn't he? All right, so make sure that it's absolutely clear that opportunity is there for you if you'd like. At $720,000, there's plenty other interests that are interested in purchasing this home outside of an auction environment, so it gives you a very good opportunity to snatch the keys today. The vendor's instructions couldn't be any further clearer from here. Milan, I'm going to wait for your final instructions before we pass the property in. Otherwise, I think we're absolutely all done. Bilal, how are we going with those conversations? Need to let me know. We're going to be wrapping up the auction now, guys. You're still here at this stage. You're still watching me. You're still seeing how the auction goes. These guys have been given the same instructions you are, so it pays to be quick at this stage. Let me know. Otherwise, we're going to pass the property in. Even another bid on top. If we go $725, you can be the ones to negotiate inside. We'll let you know where that reserve price is, and you have the exclusive right to negotiate. There'll be a fight for that exclusive right as well at $720,000. Current highest bidder, and I thank you very much for your patience. We're almost done here unless you give me that bid. I'm waiting. No. Very tough. Very tough crowd. At $720, what do you say, guys? Another 5? No, we're done. I think that wraps it up. Milan, how are we going inside? Any further instructions from our vendors here? I'm going to call it 3 times and we're going to wrap up the auction here. First call at $720,000, bids out to the right-hand side. Second call, we're all done. We're all finished and silent. Third and final time, all done. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your attendance here. We formally passed the property into our highest bidder. Let's give them a round of applause, by the way, guys. And we'll start the negotiation process from here. We look forward to updating you with the sold result very shortly. Thank you very much.